sense that he is not a buyer because he's asking for escrow. I told him, why you gonna escrow the gold? Gold is money.
Right. Right.
And the world is crying for supply.
And then you're a woman explaining it to a man, so his ego.
Yeah, I think his ego is he's been hurt because I'm very tough. I'm very straightforward.
Right.
That is why my seller loves me.
Right.
They called me the mother of gold. Right. They called me the mother of gold. So buyer, I think you saw me on YouTube live video in a few hours ago, right? I was on live.
No, I didn't. I wasn't able to. I had to make sure I arrived at work on time, so I wasn't able to catch you this morning.
In fact, I'm on live right now on Facebook as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And our conversation is live. Mm.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Our conversation is live. Because when someone asks question, I have to be live so that the future buyer would understand what he's buying for. Right.
Right, absolutely.
So that is the reason why I explained to you what is the purpose of buying gold. Remember, I'm asking you what is the purpose of buying gold?
Right. Oh, you asking me? Now
yes, I'm asking you what is the purpose of buying gold. Why you want to buy gold?
Okay, yeah. That I want to buy it is because of we need gold. I mean, we need to have it as an asset and be able to provide it for people that don't have access to it.
I see.
Or when the times come, and when the times do come, and when it's very difficult to purchase gold, we need to be able to provide it to people for a decent price so they can get their money's worth, because I believe it's going to be a currency.
It is the currency. It is the currency. It is. Well,
of course, it's a currency now, but it's gonna be that's the only currency that may be accepted.
Correct.
So all this money, this paper money, is going away.
You're right, because I was reading on website the Cateco.com, and every day I've been watching them. There is a prediction that the gold will turn to I think the gold will turn to $2,000 per ounce. So you multiply that on 32.15. There is a prediction, hey? $2,000 per ounce times 32.15. That would be 64,300 per kilo. So if you don't have the money, how are you able to pay? However, you found the right supplier, I will give you the best price. I will give you the best price because I am the mandate. I am the authority to negotiate, and I'm helping the buyer to secure properly. My seller will consider what I ask the seller to give you, the good price. The seller say, yes, we will, because once you send a letter of intent to buy coming from you, your business license, your importation license, your passport, and you have to show the proof of fund, your bank statement. That's all we need. We don't steal your money. You just show the money that you have available on the value of your order.
Absolutely.
Because the payment must be bank to bank because of money laundering.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we don't want any mistakes like that at all. It's too many things that's going on right now. Too many people that's playing too many games online. So
there's so many scrupulous buyers. There's so many scrupulous buyers trying to cut corner, and they think that they can manipulate, and they don't like me, Alan. They don't like me at all. They don't like my language. They don't like my guts. Hi? Sorry.
I can tell you straightforward. So they're gonna be intimidated to talk to you a little bit.
That's right. I am the intimidator. Yes. My boss loves me.
Yes, ma'am.
My boss loves me because when I... Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I have to get back with you because you have to go back to the floor. But what I'm going to do is go back. I'm going to talk to my partner. I'm going to make sure that I get with him and I'm going to tell him the price that you offered. I'm going to tell him everything that we talked about. And I feel like he's going to come on board and we're going to have a deal. So just give me a little bit and I'm going to watch the video so I can educate myself, because you're right. If anybody comes to talk to you, they need to watch your video. So because of the explanation that you do give, so we'll be informed when we come talk to you and it's straight to business. You know
I will
what
give you a copy of our conversation because I'm on Facebook Live at the moment. Okay, but I will give you a copy and show to your partner that this is Wilhelmina that you're talking. Okay, and I want you to plan properly, and I don't want you to rush and read. I will give you the link on Gold Trade Worldwide page. I want you to read the procedure because everything is online now, and listen to the video. Then you come back, because I don't want you to be duped. I don't want you, when I take you to Africa, I make sure you are happy 100%. I'm sure. So that is why you go back to the refinery in Texas, ask them what is the requirement to bring the gold, because the refinery will organize the logistic to pick up armor car to pick up the gold in the airport. So they're gonna clear in custom. So you need to ask the refinery what refinery's role, because you are going to resell it to the refinery, right? That is money.
Okay.
You cannot just put the gold into the car. You might be hold up. You might be hold up.
Right.
Recently, I read the news. There was a hold up in Mexico. There was a hold up on gold in Mexico. I just read on the news, and I put that on my wall. So you need to ensure, you need to make sure that when the gold arrive in your destination, no one can steal your gold. Yeah, nobody.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think I explained it to you.
I'm gonna make sure I watch this.
Yeah, go back to your work now because you're going to return because it's your break, and I will give you this video conversation that we have. All right. Thank you, Alan. Thank you for our conversation, and I'm sure you're gonna be happy. Okay. Thank you very much, and have a pleasant good evening. Okay. Okay. To all buyers, the time here is 11:39. I was supposed to close because it's already late evening. I just finished talking to a buyer from Texas, and he fully understood. I explained it and I told him that we are live. So, Mylene, thank you for watching. And who is this? Ken Cross, thank you for watching on live video. Ahmed is from Middle East. Just a minute. Lastly, he is my avid fan. He keep on following me. And Ken Cyprus, thank you for watching. Mylene, thank you for watching. And my video would be short. I just talking to this buyer. A real buyer, have no complaint at all. So he's going to make a reservation, and I told him, just plan yourself and ask the refinery what necessary requirement, because when you bring the gold to the refinery will ask where the gold coming from. So we will provide the refinery the mining license of the seller, because the refinery will say, oh, where the gold coming from? Maybe the gold was been stolen. Pamela, thank you very much for watching. Pamela, she's African, but she works in Dubai. So I give the buyer a very good advice that I told him, plan yourself, because we are locked down at the moment. There is no business, but he has to make a reservation. So I told him that I will give you a very good price because it's locked down, and instead of 5%, I explained that to every video. I told Alan, thank you, Pamela. that our selling price is less 5%. But because I'm going to charge my extra service to accompany the buyer from day one to the end, I will throw back the 3% in total of 8%. So there is no upfront. That's only my extra. So this buyer, he has no problem paying my extra because he's just new. So he needs me from day one to the end. So he's happy. So that is the reason why I put everything online. There was a buyer just a few hours ago. He's from United Kingdom. He's very arrogant. I think he doesn't like my his ego to be challenged because I'm very straightforward and I'm very frank and I don't muck around. This buyer from United Kingdom, he said he only buy gold on escrow. But this buyer, he has money, so he doesn't have any complaint. Only those buyers have a limited cost. They have a problem and they're arrogant. Why? Buyer using on escrow and C.I.F, he's going to leverage the gold. And he said he's going to bring the gold to United Kingdom. And he has no idea on how much importation tax in United Kingdom. 20% if you bring the gold from Africa, which is Dore bar, 20%. Why I know? Few years back, my seller sold the gold to United Kingdom. And he's not a buyer of mine. So my seller asked me, Madam, we sold the gold. Can you help us? I said, why? We were being screwed by a buyer from United Kingdom. I think the buyer is from, he's French. He doesn't speak English properly. He's going to bring the gold to England and to resell it to the Indian buyer. And I asked my friend to interpret because, you know, he speaks French, this buyer. And I said to my seller, the seller is from Ghana, because I handled Ghana before and I terminated my agreement with him. And I said to the seller, you were being ripped off. So the buyer paid the seller minus 20% because the buyer paying the importation tax. I said to my seller, you should not agree on the beginning. You should. And the seller was not aware. That is why I learned from that experience. Mr. Buyer, if you are watching, and whoever you are, you need to plan yourself. You need to ask your country. You ask how much importation tax. Because when you bring the gold to your country, of course you have to declare that to custom. Custom will charge you importation duties. Now, in Texas, I think there is no importation duty. So in every country, there is an importation duty. Here in Australia, our importation duty is 10% government sales tax. We don't have any complaint. In Dubai, there is an importation tax, but it's only very, very cheap. So I'm not here to teach you guys, but you do your plan because my job to sell. It's up to you. The seller is paying taxes. Before the gold leave the country of origin and diamond, the seller will pay the value added tax. That's why our price is premium. Sometimes we waive the shipping cost. Sometimes, if I am around, yes, I can ask my seller to waive it. But if I'm not around, you pay. Okay, you pay the shipping cost. You need to insure. You are buying money to make money. But if you are dealing with so many joker broker, believe me, you will fail. I'm telling you. That is the reason why most of the buyer or joker broker, they don't like my guts. They don't like at all. Especially this woman you're talking, and very straightforward and very brutal. I done it purposely because you are a scrupulous buyer. You think gold is easy to mine. When I was in Africa, it's not easy to mine. To dig gold, it's under the heat of the sun. And then these workers, sometimes they were being poisoned because of the mercury. And you guys, your eyes is bigger than a dollar. That is the reason. So I think I already explained it to the buyer from United States. And he would come back. And I told him Plan yourself before you come to Wilhelmina, because I told him I have to ask you your business license, your importation license, your passport copy, and proof of fund. Bank statement only to show that you have the available fund, the value of your order. This buyer from United Kingdom few hours ago, he refused to introduce himself. He refused to send a formal letter. And he's a lot of asking question, and I told him I can detect that you're really time waster. But if I mention his name, believe me, he will be embarrassed. But I will not. Okay, I just control it. But please, if you muck around with this woman, yes, I'm going to mention your name. So do not muck around so that I will not expose your dirty tricks. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to exit now, and I just finished talking to this buyer. Okay, and he's going to make a reservation subject for coronavirus lifted because there is no international flight. However, we will give the buyer a good price fix. I know the buyer is really looking for gold. I asked this buyer from Texas, what are you intend to buy? Why you are buying gold? You know what he said? His paper money has no value. He's going to buy gold for security. Believe me, guys, if you come with Wilhelmina on the ground, I can assure you, I can guarantee you get the gold. But please don't cut corner. Do not. And you need to tell the truth. There was a buyer that I don't need to mention, and he said he has money. When he arrived in Africa, he doesn't have the money. He just want to buy gold to pay taxes. No, we don't do that. We don't. Okay? And then this buyer buying diamond, exactly the same. He met my seller, and he doesn't want to talk to me. He want to cut corner because he wanted to talk to my seller directly. My seller is watching me right now. And the buyer fell. Mr. Buyer, if you really want a true business, a real business, do not cut corner. You need Wilhelmina to be with you from the day one to the end, so that I would be with you in case there is an issue. I can help you, and I can talk to the seller to sort it out. But if you cut corner and if you don't want to talk to me in the middle, then you're gonna encounter disaster. Believe me, I can guarantee you 100%. I have a transaction successful. I don't have any problem. Those buyers are doubtful. They are a scrupulous buyer. I'll give you again the meaning of scam. I refrain using scam. Lie, deceive, manipulate. Most buyers are deceiving himself. Why? Because of profit. Most of the buyer, they manipulate the situation, and the seller is also hungry to sell, and the buyer is hungry to buy. So the seller would not tell you, okay, here's the price that you negotiated, but the Ministry of Mines would not issue any paperwork unless the buyer pay the gold to the seller's account called cash inflow. Now this buyer was asking me, Madam, what is the meaning of cash inflow? So I do the research. What is the meaning of cash inflow? Very simple. That buyer, he didn't know what is cash inflow. So he was being stuck because he doesn't have the money to pay the total sale value. The cash inflow means you have to pay the product in full so that the seller can show to the Ministry of Mines the receipt that the buyer paid the products. That is called cash inflow. Without the receipt, the Ministry of Mines will not permit the seller to take the gold out of the country. Hang on. Just there's another buyer. Just a moment. So even from Uganda. Just a moment. This is the one after. Just a moment. I'm about to close. It's 11:51 already. Whew. I'm really working since this morning. Just bear with me. A second. Dear Madam, do you conduct two ones like to introduce to me the buyer from anywhere you know them? I have the seller here in Uganda. According to your experience, you can understand him very fast, which is not this I have. So I wanted to give you this seller to you buy this gold. No, I'm not interested to deal with this seller in Uganda. No, I have my seller. My seller needs my work. I work for the seller. I have the seller in Sierra Leone, Conakry, and Mali. So many seller wanted my services. This broker, I'm gonna ask I'm gonna tell this broker. Just a moment. Why not? Why not help him? I am not an agency here. My seller appointed me to handle sales and marketing. That is why I put everything online. But most of the broker misunderstood. We cannot find the real seller at all. You found Wilhelmina because we are transparent. I'm the one who introduced this. I patterned the way we Australian doing business. Here in Australia, everything is online. Yeah? Because we are now on a modern technology. I buy clothes on mailers. Mailers, you can buy that online. You can buy groceries online. You can pay banking online. So here in Australia, we don't carry cash in our wallet. It's all paperless. I'm the one who introduced in Africa. But those buyers are scrupulous. They're scared of Wilhelmina. They are. Believe me. If you mention my name, Pamela, that you know Wilhelmina, they will run away from you. Pamela is here. She is African. She's from Zimbabwe, but she works in Dubai. Pamela, if you meet, I was in Dubai last month, Pamela. I miss you, but I was busy, and I have a very limited time in Dubai. Lucky I was not being caught by lockdown. I arrived last month. I arrived March 2 from Conakry, Sierra Leone, and I stopped over in Dubai for a few days. I met a lot of joker buyer, Pamela. A lot. They are boastful. Said, "Oh, I'm the buyer." But actually, when I interviewed them, they are not a buyer. They're joker buyer. They're asking for C.I.F. They're asking for LC. They wanted us to bring gold to Dubai. No, we're not interested. I wish them good luck. So anyway, Pamela and Mylene, thank you very much. I'm going to greet these people here. Okay, Natividad, thank you for watching. And the time here is 11:54. So these people have keep on sending. Just a moment. But I will. No. Okay, this another buyer is buying 5 kilos. Our minimum order is 20 kilos. Ukraine insists on buying only Ghana, so no. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna respond. Sorry. Tell him to bring cash in the village. Okay. So that is, I have here a broker insisting that his buyer wanted to buy gold in Ghana. So I used to handle Ghana. I fired all of my sellers in Ghana. They're all scrupulous. Just bear with me. I have another buyer. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna accept him. He's on sending me a message on Skype. So, but anyway, guys, I think I already explained to the buyer. He's from Texas. He's buying gold in 20 kilos. He said he has $1 million. So he has $1 million, meaning to say he can afford. He doesn't have any complaint. And I asked him, how did you find Wilhelmina? He was been searching. He said the only person that he found on YouTube is Wilhelmina. So I think you will learn, you will realize that this gold business is not for everyone. If you're just brokering, it wouldn't work at all. Especially if you come to Wilhelmina. Because I put everything online. If you are not reading, I wouldn't entertain you. 3 things I require from the buyer. After you watch this video, you You read the full corporate offer. After that, you send a letter of intent to buy coming from you. Then you have to show us to convince Wilhelmina, send me your business license, send me your passport copy, send me the proof of fund. On your letter of intent must be stated, Dear Wilhelmina, I watch your video and read the full corporate offer. This is my requirement. 22.54. This is Dore bar you're buying, not gold bullion, huh? Don't misunderstand yourself, huh? You're buying unrefined because gold has many uses. You can refine it whatever you like. Then the purity you're looking for, the purity that you're buying gold is from 94, 95, 96. It depends on the result of the partial assay. The mode of payment must be bank to bank, FOB, cash. So you have to show your proof of fund, your bank statement. We don't entertain bank guarantee. This is the correction, hey? The bank will guarantee to receive the gold, but we don't entertain bank guarantee. The bank will not guarantee my seller. No, the bank will guarantee you because you have the facilities and you are already a customer of the bank. Before the bank will guarantee you, the bank will ask your asset. What is your asset? Because bank will not release its money. The money in the bank belong to the people's money. So this gold is money. So please don't misunderstood, eh? Do not manipulate Wilhelmina because I'm telling you, you will be rejected. Exactly this buyer from London, I rejected it. And he said he went to Uganda. I said, go back to Uganda. Go back. Go back to your supplier and get the gold because I'm not interested. It's very clear on video and my procedure. Read because I'm not rushing. I'm not chasing you guys. You are going to chase because my seller is the one who produced gold and diamond. So therefore, we have the supply. There's a saying, supply and demand determine the price. If you cannot meet it, good luck. I wish you good luck. You can float around running and chasing. You never know. Somebody might offer you very cheap and then you're waiting for disaster. Believe me. Guarantee. So don't deceive yourself, Mr. Buyer. Don't, because this is money you're buying. You're gonna encounter disaster. I read the news. There was a big holdup in Mexico about gold. That is why we are very careful dealing with the stranger. That the buyer from United Kingdom, he doesn't know how to introduce himself, and I scrutinize him. He doesn't want to show his face. He doesn't want to show who he is. To me, he's scrupulous. Before you come to our office in Conakry or Sierra Leone, especially in Conakry, you will never be allowed to take a video, and your phone will be registered in the reception. And my seller is very, very strict. You come to the office, the first floor, there is a security guard. Second floor, army. The third and fourth, there is always security guard. You cannot even see the CEO without appointment, prior appointment. I can knock at the room of my CEO at any time. Well, there was when I was in Conakry last year, there was a guy from Melbourne, and he was on the elevator, and I'm about to get out from elevator, and so he took the elevator on the fourth floor because the office is on the fourth floor. The first, second, third, because my seller have 7 companies. So the gold is on the fourth floor. And I introduced myself. I think he's Indian, but he lives in Melbourne. And he said, oh, I'm from Australia. So what are you doing here? Buying gold. But he's not a buyer. He has a buyer. He's a broker. So I told him, good luck. So I said to the office, oh, what happened to this Australian, the Indian? Madam, they didn't meet the criteria. I said, why? He's asking C.I.F. So what a waste of time. He think that he can get C.I.F. But my buyer get the gold, and his buyer didn't get the gold. Something like that. So, Mr. Buyer, don't cheat yourself. Don't lie because gold is not for credit. I think I already explained, so I will not keep on repeating and repeating. I just came online because I have an interview. Few people. So thank you very much, my love. It's already 12 o'clock, 12 midnight. I'm going to exit because I have to respond to all the people on WhatsApp and on Skype. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening. Good morning. It's now April 12. A few hours ago, it was April 11. Now it's 12:01. We are now on Sunday, April 12. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good morning.